What's up? Hello and welcome to the Moxie Mansion podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Truman Siegel.
One of your other hosts, Jean-Luc Lassa.
I'm one of your other hosts, Jay Wass.
And today we got with us our science correspondent, Zarek Harold.
Hi, I don't know how to read.
And our hockey correspondent, Joseph Naliath.
I know everything there is to know about hockey.
See, we have a sports correspondent and we have a hockey correspondent because it's just that much important.
Hockey's not a sport; it's a way of life.
Hockey, punch in the face, as the wise man once said. We got a pretty good program for you guys today. First, we're gonna start off with our Yellowstone update.
All right, so I found this cool article while doing my Yellowstone search. And I found one with the title, Yellowstone Volcano, Very Unnerving Discovery After Idaho Earthquake Revealed. So what do you think about that title? Do you think something bad's going to happen?
I feel like the title is clickbaity.
Yeah, it's clickbait. All they're worried about is... So you know how after an earthquake there's usually aftershocks?
Mm-hmm.
Their unnerving discovery is that the aftershocks might keep going for another year.
That's kind of funny, though.
The volcano itself, they don't have any information about. They don't care about it, so maybe next week.
It's a fairly unnerving discovery.
I mean, maybe some of those aftershocks will trigger the volcano.
I don't think it's that unnerving.
I mean, imagine that you just, start shaking and you don't stop shaking until, a year after it starts.
I can't
we
stop.
never stop shaking.
FX.
Imagine you're a hive of Japanese honeybees, and a Japanese giant hornet gets in your hive, and everyone starts shaking to kill it.
Dude, have you seen a video of it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah,
cool.
It is.
Go treat yourself to it, listeners. That is how teamwork works.
And then while you're at it, treat yourself to the Mrs. Monopoly ad, because that's what we're going to talk about next.
Yes.
Not necessarily the ad, which is in itself bogus, but Miss Monopoly itself.
I mean, the ad's kind of funny.
Yeah,
Yes,
but it has some great rules, like you know how in Monopoly when you pass go you get $200.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for men it's the same, but for women you actually get $240, and you start with 20% more money to reflect the pay gap.
I've always been in support of affirmative action, but no longer. This is unjust.
There's instead of railroads they have ride shares like Uber.
So it's postmodern Monopoly.
It's relevant. It's so smart.
Yeah.
I love it.
Was Uber made by a woman? Isn't that what everything there's
Yeah,
about?
all the spaces are inventions by women.
Was Uber one? I don't pay attention to that kind of stuff.
No, isn't Uber Saudi Arabia?
No, Saudi has money in it. I think it was American.
Or it's bankrolled by Saudi Arabia.
Let me double check that. Yeah, Uber's not profitable. That's kind of crazy.
It's not.
Like,
Well,
they're
Uber versus Lyft is a proxy war for Saudi Arabia versus Iran.
Who's gonna win?
It's bold, Truman. A bold
No,
statement.
it is. That's where the money is coming from for both of them.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
Lyft is not taking money from Iranians.
it has a lot of Iranian investors.
The CEO and both founders of Uber are men, so checkmate Miss Monopoly.
Yeah,
More-
Uber is not making a profit currently.
More women CEOs. That is what we need. That is what Miss Monopoly is teaching us. So, kids, write that down.
Yeah, more female landlords, more female CEOs.
More female drone operators.
As long as it's not a ride-sharing company, because, that's all men.
Did you see that the one of the guys who just graduated Harvard, Harvard Business School or whatever, or like some master's program at Harvard, was like, I want to be the first openly gay Secretary of Defense. Which is such an incredible statement.
Yes. Pete Buttigieg. Yeah, we were almost there, but now we got it.
Dude,
I think
you can go, Joe.
no. I'm gonna finish this Doritos Locos Taco first. Taco Bell sponsor me.
I just like, I don't care the gender or sexual orientation of who's dropping the bombs. I think we should stop dropping them.
As long as you do it good, I don't care about what's in your pants.
Yeah, so stop dropping the bombs.
I'm about to drop a bomb on the rideshare industry. I'm gonna start a competitor to Uber and Lyft, where only women can drive, and that way you won't feel uncomfortable. And also, it could be like an escort service. So I could also take a bite out of like OnlyFans.
So are you saying that the women who pick me up are the prostitutes?
It's a reverse card.
So wait, they're performing their services while they are driving?
Well, hands-free technology. There are states where you can drive with one hand on the wheel, right?
I mean, I drive with one hand on the wheel.
No, I wasn't.
Are cops looking for people with not both hands on the wheel?
I don't think so.
My
I
mom
would
got
be
pulled over
surprised if
for
they
it.
are.
My mom got pulled over for it in Glenridge, and she won't go back to Glenridge.
How do you pull someone over for that?
She was literally not texting. She was just talking.
She had a hand on the wheel?
She had a hand on the wheel. Admittedly, both hands were not on the wheel. I apologize.
Is that illegal?
For your mother. She got ticketed for it. She got like $300 ticket.
For having
Well,
one
that's
hand on the
how much
wheel?
I got for going into a slower speed limit zone.
Yeah, that's a really stupid ticket to get.
That's a tough ticket to get. I would just be angry.
Dude, the cop told you could have just pleaded not guilty and gotten out of it.
I did, but there was a time limit, and it took too long.
At least you didn't have to go back to Darien Center or wherever it was. So Jacob was rediscovering one of his old favorite movies. And
yeah.
yeah, you can.
Alright. So I rewatched one of my old favorite movies, Snowpiercer, yesterday because I saw it popped up on Netflix. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember this. For those who are unfamiliar, Snowpiercer is from the director of Parasite, Oscar-winning Parasite, Bong Joon-ho. It stars Chris Evans as this dude who starts a rebellion on this train. Oh yeah, by the way, the plot of the film is that in the year 2014, basically all the world's governments come together and create this formula which they like spray out all over the earth to sort of try and combat global warming. Unfortunately, it causes the entire world to freeze over and kills almost everyone except for the people who are on this train. And over time, the train sort of becomes a hierarchy with the upper class people at the front of the train and the lower class people at the back of the train. You can sort of pick up on what that's a metaphor for. And so Chris Evans starts a rebellion to sort of take over the train, and everything gets a little bit nuttier from there.
You know, part of me thinks Bong Joon-ho doesn't like capitalism.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that too. I saw it for the first time when I was 14. I think it was one of the first R-rated movies I ever saw, but I'm not sure. And when I first saw it, I was like, this is one of the best movies ever made. This is like top 5, 10 out of 10 IGN. Just fucking love it. Watched it again. Sad to report, not quite as good as I remember it. I still really like it, but I think that after seeing Parasite, it's just not as... The metaphor is not quite as strong, or maybe it's used a little bit more bluntly.
It's very obvious what he was going for, and so that kind of takes away from it a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
And sort of like the logistics of this plot are very confusing because as they're going through these rooms, there's one room that's sort of dedicated for these gardeners that make all the produce and stuff for the upper class people. There's like a club room which is full of people raving. I didn't see, with the exception of the people at the back of the train, I never saw a cart utilized for sleeping space. So the only thing I can assume is that there are like at least 100 of people in that small space for clubbing.
And they just go back and forth.
Well, they either do that or they just like sleep on the floor on top of each other.
Which honestly, the bunks might be more comfortable than that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, why would you even want to go to the front? You're kind of like, you technically have more resources. I mean, yeah, they could give you better food and stop feeding you whatever those jelly bars are, but I mean,
I love the jelly bars.
yeah.
Do you guys have any movies that like you guys really loved and then you revisited like years and years later and you're just like, wow, this is not as good as I remember it?
Well, I definitely have one from very recently. I just gotta think of what it is.
For me, it would probably be the Pixar kids movies because I don't see a lot of movies.
Yeah. Xerix is actually like some pharmacological documentary. He watched it when he was 4.
Yeah, I saw a documentary on the price gouging crisis, and when I was 5, I was like, these doctors need to get paid. And then I watched it again, and I was like, wow, people are dying.
Eric has 2 opinions.
Yeah. I'm trying to think too. I've been watching like a lot of stuff, but like I don't know. Capone was pretty good. I liked it. The new Josh Trank flick.
I'm very, very interested in Capone because I saw Josh Trank's first film Chronicle back when I was freaking 11 years old. And I still tell people that that's what got me into filmmaking, just because I'd never seen anything like that or found footage used to sort of make a superhero movie or anything outside of horror. And I wanted to follow this guy's career, and that's why I'm so interested in this movie that features Al Capone shitting himself.
Dude, it's so good. It reminds me a lot of Mickey Reese's Alien, which is such a deep cut. Like, no one is going to get that reference, but very similar movies. And would be a great double feature if Mickey Reese's Alien was available anywhere. But it's basically the same kind of thing, but with Elvis's last year of his life.
Oh. Why is it called Alien, then?
Because his baby is an alien. It's a really wacky movie. It's fun.
Nice. I want to check that out.
You should. It's not available anywhere, but...
No? Fuck.
What else do we have to talk about? Phoenix?
Sure.
So Zarek and I were... How did Phoenix come up?
I think we were... I have no idea.
Oh, I was listening to...
Oh, yeah.
So I've been listening to all of Matt Farley's music in chronological order. And I'm at the point in his career where he was doing like a lot of sports albums, and like he would create a different band for each sports team or like city, which has become unsustainable. Which is why he doesn't do it anymore. But one of like the fifth or sixth one he did was Suns, Cardinals, and Diamondbacks. And I was like, why does Phoenix have 3 teams?
I was thinking, okay, who are the Suns? Oh, the Cardinals. That's St. Louis. Oh, Diamondbacks. Why is he doing 2 cities? And then, oh yeah, Phoenix also has that football team.
Yeah.
Phoenix has a football team?
Yeah, the Arizona Cardinals.
Arizona Cardinals?
Yeah.
Cardinals is not an intimidating name for a football team.
Yeah, neither is the Dolphins.
No, I feel like the Dolphins make sense as a football team.
Yeah, I mean, like, Dolphins they're not intimidating, but they're big. They either need to be intimidating or big. Like hornets
Yeah,
are tiny.
dolphins can be pretty meaty beasts.
Yeah.
But then
Have you ever swam with a dolphin, bro? You would know how meaty those beasts are.
Joe-
Miami Dolphins, they don't seem too bad, but get ready for the Hartford Harpoons.
what are the Worcesters?
That was baseball.
But Joe, are you aware that Phoenix is the 5th most populated city in the country?
I had no idea.
Guess how many?
I thought you
pretty
told me
large.
once that Phoenix was the 5th most popular city in the country.
No, populace.
Oh, God,
Yes,
that's so much
people.
better. If it was the most popular, I think I'd just die on purpose.
Joe, what do you think the
most
population
popular,
of Phoenix is?
I'm gonna guess. Wait,
What do you
I
think the
Phoenix is?
population of Phoenix, Arizona is?
I'm gonna go.
As of 2018.
I'm gonna go with 3 million.
No, 1.6 million. But that's not the metro area. That's just the city.
Oh, okay.
But
So
why?
the metro area brings it up to 3, right? I was accurate.
Let me see.
But why do so many people live in Phoenix? I just don't. It's
Jobs.
in the middle of the. But why does it have jobs?
Joe, the
Who
metro
built
is 5
Phoenix?
million.
The metro's 5. Jeez, that is a massive commuter suburb.
Yeah, but the urban area is 3.6 million, so you got it there.
Phoenix, Arizona, wouldn't it have been settled by the Spaniards, the conquistadors?
I don't
Well,
think
it
its
goes
history
back
is
that
that
far.
recent. The history starts in like the 60s.
Hey, I was looking at a list of the most populous cities by decade, and Phoenix does not show up anywhere until 1980.
Yeah, Tucson was the Spanish settlement in Arizona.
Yeah, so I'm so curious. If we have any listeners from Phoenix that want to explain your local history, please hit us up.
Until World War II, the economy was based on the 5 C's: cotton, citrus, cattle, climate, and copper.
Yeah, but you couldn't do that anywhere.
No, but the climate.
The climate,
It's
though.
just it's a town in the middle of the desert. How did it get so big?
Because it has a really cool name.
The population growth rate has been 4% per year for the last 40 years. That's cap. Everybody buy
why?
agriculture. Buy agriculture.
It's gonna pass
Buy land
Houston
in
soon.
Phoenix.
Okay, so being the 5th most populous city, I'm not going to accept it, but I have to. But it's still growing immensely.
It's predicted to be 4th by 2020. I wonder if that's. I
it's
guess we
gonna
gotta
pass
wait for
San
the
Antonio.
census.
No, it's gonna pass Houston.
Oh, they already did pass San Antonio is going to pass
Wait,
Philadelphia.
It's gonna pass Houston, you're telling me?
I
Yeah.
cannot believe
I
that.
can't believe that. Houston's growing too.
Yeah,
Houston's just mad thick.
Not as
It has
fast
a big
as
lead.
Phoenix.
If Houston is young people going out to vote, then Phoenix is old people going out to vote for Joe Biden.
Dude, but like where do these people come from? Why are they moving to Phoenix?
Well, the
Very
history goes
confusing.
back millennia, beginning with the nomadic Paleo Indians who existed in the Americas in general and in the Salt.
But why did they
Valley
go
in
to
particular.
Phoenix?
Because mammoths. They had mammoths in Phoenix about 9,000 years ago.
Yeah,
There weren't mammoths in Tucson?
they had mammoths in not Phoenix too.
Yeah, but the Phoenix mammoths were lit, bruh.
How do you know?
Why?
Were you
Why
there?
did those mammoths go
Cotton,
to
citrus, cattle, climate, and copper. That's why.
What
Mammoths
use
can't
did
farm
they
cotton.
did they have use for copper and mammoths at the same time?
No, but the citrus, cattle, and climate went hard.
Allegedly so.
Do they still use the 5 C's? Because isn't Florida and Georgia big on citrus?
I'm sure. The population growth was further stimulated in the 1950s, in part because of the availability of air conditioning.
What?
The air conditioning lobby owns Phoenix, Arizona. Good to
Just
know.
like Capri Watch owns Capri, Italy.
Okay, but Capri Watch didn't own Capri because of watches.
No, it
They probably
definitely
owned
is
it
the
for mob
mob.
violence.
Yeah. How's
Jack's
You can go.
I kind of like the silences. I think that we should just commit to see how long we can go without breaking it every time.
Sounds like a shitty theater exercise.
Life is a shitty theater exercise.
You broke the silence.
Oh,
Shut up.
How's
Jack Swilling founded Phoenix in 1867 as a venture in irrigated farmland. He never overcame his addiction to drugs and liquor and died in jail while awaiting trial for highway robbery. You guys got to see a picture of this guy.
That goes hard. Send it to chat.
Send it to chat.
how's being a high school senior during this pandemic?
It's mids. I kind of like staying home and playing video games all day, but I would have also enjoyed being in school with my friends.
The
And skipping
win-win.
school with my friends and doing
The class
silly
of 2019 is still the
activities.
reigning graduates.
I mean, I feel like I need to disagree just because class of 2020 is goated. And obviously, like, we're the cursed class, which
Where's
also
your
means we're the
graduation?
chosen class. Who cares about that, bro? We're the goated,
Good point.
cursed class.
Yeah, I
We're
mean,
9/11 babies, and we're if a war breaks out, we're gonna be the ones that get drafted, bro. We're the Gen Zers, not y'all.
yeah, shit. I mean, people are gonna remember you. People aren't gonna remember the last guys. We're fine. They're gonna remember you.
Yeah, we're gonna get clout for this for life.
Kind of jealous.
You'd
not
be
gonna
like,
lie.
yeah, I didn't graduate high school, but not because I didn't pass.
Yeah, today my hometown's high school is doing a drive-by graduation.
That sucks.
Also,
That's
tonight
sad.
Emerson is having some like surprise commencement speaker at 9:30, but I no clue who it is.
It's Norman Lear.
It's definitely
It's
not.
Norman Lear.
It's gonna. It's if they hype it up like this, it's definitely someone bigger than Norman Lear.
They think it's someone big.
It's
And I don't
Kevin
think it's like an
Bright.
A-list celebrity, but it's probably B-list. Norman Lear is like C-list.
So that's fair. The Paul brought Joe Keery.
I don't know. Maybe it's Greta Gerwig.
Is it Kate Gallego, mayor of Phoenix, Arizona?
Yeah, she's speaking at the Emerson initiation.
Is it Jack Swilling, founder of
Phoenix.
Phoenix, Arizona?
So, Joe, we need your opinion on this.
Please.
The Moxie Mansion people have been talking, and should we haze new pledges for Moxie Mansion for next year?
I think that for next year, hazing should be suspended, but the year after that should be instated.
Naturally.
Why?
Just because I just have a bad feeling about hazing next year. But the year after that, I'm sure it'll all be back to normal, and hazing will be totally enough.
The class of 2020 has been through enough.
Yeah, I get that.
This is hazing enough.
That's why we said we should do very subtle and we shouldn't do real hazing. We should just make new members do stuff that we did freshman year.
Like pee in the laundry room trash can.
Like occasionally peeing in a trash can.
What you're saying is you want to haze them.
Yeah,
How about
exactly.
instead of that, there's one freshman who's like the haze master, and then they
It's
are
all
in
of the
charge
beat?
of overseeing all of the hazing, and I nominate myself for that.
Oh, I was about to
about
say
to say,
Matthew
Joe,
Schwartz.
Clearly and obviously you.
I mean, yeah.
Not Schwartz.
No, he could get hazed.
He could take
We
it.
have our
Self-interest.
first. We're gonna haze.
Oh man, I can't wait to get back to school. I hope we go back to school.
Me too.
I'm nervous about it.
Yo, why can't these chemists stop dicking around and just find a cure?
They just figured their shit out, honestly.
Any update on that guy who got killed who was doing research in the murder-suicide?
I heard about that. That's fucking nutty.
That was not in the news at all, and I haven't heard anything about it since.
The fact that I have no idea what you're talking about proves
Yeah.
that was not the news at all.
I have had to take a news detox. It became too much.
This researcher at UPitt was apparently close to a breakthrough, but they always say that. And
That's
then he
facts.
got mysteriously killed, and then his killer killed himself.
Everyone's always close to a breakthrough.
You're insane, though. I'm just so confused as to why situations like that even happen.
Do you know what is worse of a situation to happen?
Phoenix, Arizona.
Jeff Bezos will be the first trillionaire by 2023.
It's so depressing when you say it out loud.
Okay, that's bogus, bruh. Amazon's inflated right now.
Nobody.
People are betting on the futures of the market, but fundamentally, there's no support structure. I think it's we're due for a really big correction sometime soon.
I hope he loses all his money.
That's not gonna happen, but
One can hope.
He was trying to buy out AMC theaters.
Really?
Yeah.
AMC having financial troubles?
Yeah. Of course they are.
surprising.
I thought, but they were having pretty severe financial troubles.
Yeah, I mean, like you guys already heard about like that whole thing with Universal, where Universal was like, we want to make money during this and we want to be smart, and MC's like, I can't believe you're doing this to me. I'm never going to show any of your movies ever again.
Facts. Universal's being ridiculous about that.
Dude, I mean, of course movie theaters are struggling because there's no movies to show.
Absolutely. Like, I feel bad for the movie theaters, but it's not like the production companies still have to put out the content that they've spent years producing.
And if we had a rent freeze, it wouldn't even be that much of a problem. But you know what the Democrats got through?
What did they get through?
Their first big bill, or I guess their second, because they had that one at the beginning, that they spent a lot of time pushing through the House, pushing through Senate. They fought for us. No rent freeze, no more stimulus checks, no healthcare waves.
No stimulus checks in the second?
No student debt relief, but we got Cobra subsidies.
My heroes.
Me and the boys cheering at the Cobra subsidies that the Dems got us. No, but what was the point of winning a majority in the House?
There wasn't one. Politics are stupid. You want to make change happen? Get a strap. You're 18.
Yo.
Is this getting published?
Yeah.
Satire.
For legal
That was some good satire, Joe.
That was a ridiculous amount of satirical content.
For legal reasons, this is a joke.
I'm a child. It's a joke.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah.
Not much longer. Don't you have it's either 1 day or 5 days left?
3 days.
3 days. Damn. Oh,
When I
19.
run for office, promise me you'll delete this.
No, why do we delete satire?
Just because satire gets taken out of context. Like all of Joe Biden's satire about his leg hairs and...
Dude, the other day Joe Biden said, if you believe Tara Reid, don't vote for me. I probably wouldn't if I believed her. He's so good at campaigning.
Mhm.
All you have to do to win is not tell people not to vote for you. I don't know why that's so hard for him.
He did not pass that check.
It's so fucking sad. I mean, I don't feel bad for him or anything, but it's just he's just yeah, I don't need your vote, whatever. It's not like
No,
this is an election or
I
anything.
honestly don't think that he planned on running when he was in his right mind, and then he started, getting his cognitive decline began, and then the party hacks convinced him to run.
I know what he's doing.
What's he doing?
He's colluding with Trump to make the first ever electoral sweep.
What do you mean first ever? There's been some in the past.
But it
first
hasn't
since
been
Washington.
a pure sweep.
No, Nixon won all but one state.
Okay,
All
that's
but
not a
one.
sweep.
Have you seen Donald Trump's 404 page?
Yeah, that's
No.
funny.
Go on
Oh,
donaldjtrump.com/404.
I'm gonna start getting more ads for him. You said, wait, what is it? 404.com?
No, donaldjtrump.com/404.
Oh my god.
It's so
That's
funny.
what happens when the page isn't found.
Oh, there's a shop. Is
Exactly.
Trumpy Bear on here?
Yeah, you could buy the hats.
Wait, Trumpy Bear is real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was like an Adult Swim commercial. What?
You know our world is insane when you think real things are Adult Swim.
The
Dude.
commercial seems so fake though.
Both of the nominees for president are so funny. It just sucks that they're the nominees for president.
It'd be better if there was like one competent one.
Like legitimately, Trump is one of the funniest people to ever run for office. Half the shit he says is just so funny. It just sucks how much he sucks.
Can somebody set a timer for like 1 minute and then stop from continuing to talk after the minute passes?
Alright,
I got you.
Alright.
No, Jacob,
Tell me when to go.
screw you.
We can do it at the same time. Have a race.
Hey, Joe, ready?
Talks have a race. Yeah.
1, go.
I'm losing.
The 1950s. Population and industrial growth. The city grew explosively in the 1950s. The population expanded by a factor of 3 and industry by a
Is this
factor of
Phoenix?
15. The growth brought serious problems of minority housing, traffic congestion, smog, and a fading of the traditional laid-back Phoenix lifestyle. By 1950, over 105,000 people lived within the city and thousands more in surrounding communities. There were 148 miles, 238 kilometers of paved streets, and 163 miles, 262 kilometers of unpaved streets. The 1950s growth was spurred on by advances in mechanical air conditioning, which allowed both homes and businesses to offset the extreme heat known to Phoenix during its long summers. Affordable cooling in the decade contributed to a wild building boom. In 1959 alone, Phoenix saw more new construction than it had in the more than 3 decades from 1914 to 1946. I was just getting to the good part.
Dude, that was the best thing I
You're
watched
just getting to
ever.
the good part. Keep going.
In
Phoenix
May
has a hockey team?
1953, Phoenix became the
Phoenix
location
has a hockey
of the very
team?
first franchise of the McDonald's restaurant chain. The restaurant was located near the southwest corner of Central Avenue and Indian School Road. In addition to being the first McDonald's franchise, the Phoenix location was also the McDonald's restaurant to feature the Golden Arches, which would become the emblematic architectural element of the global restaurant chain. The McDonald's brothers, Richard and Maurice, desiring to expand the successful restaurant they had created in San Bernardino, California, licensed the first McDonald's franchise to Phoenix businessman Neil Fox and 2 other partners for a licensing fee of $1,000.
And McDonald's helped grow Phoenix.
Yes.
All my friends hate McDonald's.
Guess how much flights to Phoenix are for a 1-week trip in the next 6 months? The cheapest flight.
$2.
237.
That's kind of pricey.
Yeah,
though.
another thing that sucks about Phoenix.
I got a flight home from Boston for $57.
Jeez.
That is more expensive than the flights to Spain we have next month.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was like $225 to Madrid round trip.
Yeah. Hold on. One thing that I don't want to gloss over, Joe. First of all, that was really good narration. Like,
Oh,
I can
thanks.
really do. But one other thing, and please don't take this as an insult. It kind of
No, go
reminded me of the Burger King foot lettuce guy.
I think I was subconsciously going for that. That guy's one of my idols.
Phoenix,
I don't
Arizona.
Not an insult in any way.
All right, cool. I didn't mean for it to come across that way. So
Oh no, it didn't. I'm actually complimented by it. Thank you.
Why does Phoenix have a hockey team?
Because old people go to Phoenix and old white people like hockey.
They came from Winnipeg.
Well, the franchise came from Winnipeg.
Yeah.
just
I
like
hate
the last
Winnipeg.
community from McDonald's.
I hate Winnipeg.
Yeah,
What do you have
Winnipeg.
against Winnipeg, bro?
Winnipeg
It's
is
a
at least a normal size.
It's
for
a
where it
song.
I've been playing on this one Canadian video game server, and I have found that French Canadian men are. Never mind, I forgot. This is being
is.
published.
Satire.
Satire.
No, because no.
No, I got my problems with French Canada.
I've got some issues.
What is it? Is a governor? What is it for province.
The governor.
Well, they have semi-autonomy, so like I don't
Yeah,
know if
but
you could even consider that.
their governor is so messed up.
As messed up as the Canadian Prime Minister.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing was, in like 2014, Quebec passed a burqa ban.
Bruh.
And then the federal government was like, nah, you can't do that. That's racist. And then they got a new governor of Quebec who's like a crazy Islamophobe. Who's
I
like
think it's kind of
tripled down on the burqa ban.
A burqa ban would stand in America, even federally.
Yeah.
There was a Supreme Court case about a kid who wanted to wear a hat in school, but the ruling was that freedom of expression doesn't apply if it can cause a vested threat to safety.
You don't have
Oh
freedom
my
of expression
God.
in school.
Actually, maybe since it was in a school, it wouldn't apply to the
Yeah,
public.
like you don't
Maybe
have
that
your
would
you don't
stand
have
on
your
the
rights in
freedoms.
public school.
Doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? The public school strips you of your rights. One day I went to school and I wore a hat, and my goal was to do some civil disobedience because I'd been recording my audiobook of Thoreau's collected works. And then, so I wore this hat and I walked up to a security guard and she was like, take the hat off. And I was like, no.
Was the
I'm
hat anything
respectfully
special
not
or no?
going to take the hat off. Huh?
Was the hat anything
It said-
special?
You know the Obey brand with the blocky Obey lettering?
Yeah, the
Yeah, it was one of those.
it's still crazy to me that there's like a whole style about like they live, but it's just totally like against the message of the movie.
I feel like, I mean, if you wear it ironically, it is with the message
You
of
still
the
paid
movie,
for it.
right?
But anyway, keep going with your story.
Yeah, well, she took me to she was like, okay, this is unusual. So she was like, I guess you could come with me, and she took me to the dean's office, and then Zakella was like, Joe, take off the hat. And I was like, no, why should I? There's no good reason for me to take off the hat. And so he argued with me about it for 15 minutes, and then he called another dean. And then Della Pia came to Zakella's office, and now he's trying to get me to take off the hat. And then he was like, all right, well, if you're not going to take it off, I guess you go sit in ISS. And then Miss Kennedy tried to get me to take off the hat, and then she couldn't. And then the deans called Mr. Moore, and then he came and tried to get me to take off the hat. And I was like, I'm not taking it off. It's a matter of principle. I'm using civil disobedience because there is a rule that I disagree with. So I'm going to peacefully violate that rule and accept whatever the consequences are. But then they were like, well, at this point, we're just keeping you from class. And I was like, yeah, you are, because your rules are bad. And then he was like, okay, come give me a hug, Joe.
And they
I
let
went
you
back to
go?
class. Yeah. I
That's
kept my hat on.
crazy. It reminds me of there's a guy on Twitter, I
man.
forget his name, but his bio is in quotes, the MLK of disrespecting women, and then Wall Street Journal as like the source.
That's funny as hell.
I can't believe they just let you, like, that's crazy. It
Well,
worked.
I mean, it was a stupid rule. The only justification he had was that, like, some people could use different colored hats to signify gang relations. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to say that there's no gang presence in our school because I can't prove that. But even if there was, isn't that freedom of expression? And then he was like, yeah, you don't have that. Sorry,
like,
but the
but I
public
want
school
that,
can
so
take
that's-
that away from you?
That's my civil disobedience.
That's a pretty big flex right there. Just being on the school system until they stop dookie on you.
Yeah, man.
That's amazing.
It's
That's
pretty
like the one. That's like the one like countrywide policy at public schools that is just the most ridiculous. The no hat policy.
It is. The only other thing that I can think other than the gang thing is that like you could hide something under it. But okay, then you could also hide something in your backpack. Like
Oh, he also said you could hide your face from the cameras or like a security guard, but
Okay.
what? How is a hat
Police state,
Am I gonna
police
be
state,
walking
police
looking
state.
down?
Kids can just use hoodies. If they're, like, there's no reason that a hat is different from.
Well, we're
any
not
of these
allowed to
other
have
outfits.
hoodies either.
Guys weren't allowed to wear hoodies.
No. Or we weren't allowed to have our hood on.
Wow, dude, that's crazy.
I've actually
I don't
taken
think I-
4 detentions for wearing hats and hoods in school.
I don't think I've ever not had a hood up in school.
What did I take? What did I get ISS for?
If you asked me,
I forgot about that. I knew I got ISS.
I've told so many people that story.
It's
What
so
did you ask?
legendary. I asked the driver's ed teacher if Roadhead was distracted driving.
You see, that's actually a very important question that I need answered before I start my escort rideshare company.
And they gave me ISS for it.
Dude, that's just an example of punishing children for good questions.
But didn't you also ask right before that if you could hydroplane in a boat?
Yeah.
So you were on thin ice.
Yeah.
I would have switched the order if I were you.
That same
First I
teacher
was
gave
in
me
your driver's
detention
ed
for a
class.
hat.
That's
He's-
bullshit too, because like there were kids who like kissed the security guards' asses and then like wore hats every day and like talked to the and like so like and, like,
Yes!
and that's bullshit.
Dude, the fact that so many people were on like a first name basis with with
Security
Kiara.
Okay, but Miss Wanda went hard. Like, I love Miss Wanda. She came to the hockey games. Hockey
Dude, I
correspondent.
can't vibe with authority like that.
My school had security guards. The first thing that, I mean, this is satire. If I wanted to, let's say, use my Second Amendment rights in
Oh,
school,
God.
the security guards were not going to be a problem. And second,
This is
the
satire
people-
though.
yeah, the people that would want to exercise their Second Amendment rights, they were chilling with the security guards all the time.
Yeah, because there's something about racists and authority.
Technically, you are allowed to carry a gun into a school, though. United States v. Lopez, some senior in a San Antonio high school brought his gun to school, and they took it to the Supreme Court, and he won.
Antonio.
One?
He won the case because
I love this country.
there was a because actually wasn't because of the Second Amendment. It was because of the Interstate Commerce Clause in the Constitution.
Oh my gosh!
Because-
Of course.
The Supreme Court always
It was
just
a federal act that said that you can't have guns in a school zone. There was no Texas law that said the same thing. So this kid brought his gun to school, and then he got in trouble for it. But Congress doesn't have the power to legislate guns in schools because it has nothing to do with interstate commerce.
the Supreme Court always makes decisions based off the dumbest shit.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure every Supreme Court decision is based off the Interstate Commerce Clause.
No,
I don't know about you guys.
Not Dred Scott.
Dred Scott. I feel like there's an angle that the Interstate Commerce Clause could be angled for.
Yeah,
Dred
but it's
Scott.
not like the Supreme Court has so many opportunities to just like use common sense and make the country a little bit, or not even just make the country better, but just like have reasonable explanations for stuff. But they just always come up with the most weaselly way to dismiss arguments.
They always just twist. Like I said, it's always something related to like interstate commerce or just like some like ridiculous bullshit like well, I don't even know, like little thing that they can use.
The Third Amendment.
Dude, I'm the first politician that's coming out anti-Third Amendment.
How could you say that, you fascist?
I'm pro 21st Amendment though.
My gosh.
way, so am I.
Is that prohibition?
Yeah, no, it's the end of prohibition.
Hey, I feel like there should be an angle where you could argue for the
legalization
end
of
the
drunk
prohibition. I was gonna say just like drugs and other banned substances.
Drunk driving should be legal.
I
Listen,
forgot that you would be a great lawyer.
the 13th Amendment bans slavery except in prisons, right?
Uh-huh.
The 18th Amendment banned alcohol, and then the 21st Amendment repealed that. It didn't repeal that except in automobiles.
Yeah, but state laws.
Truman,
You'd have to
Truman.
find a state where that's
Yeah,
not.
but it's unconstitutional to make drunk driving illegal.
Truman, I want you to go get arrested for drunk driving and then take it to the Supreme Court. With that argument.
I'm sure people have tried before.
Oh, I don't.
No, I think it's just
most
dumb
people that
enough.
get DUIs. Yeah, most people that get DUIs don't fight it. They're like, yeah, fuck, I got caught.
They're
No,
yeah,
but, like,
man,
I'm-
time to go to my 10-step process.
Not I'm drunk driving because it's civil disobedience. Hashtag legalize it. Hashtag pro 21st Amendment.
Oh my gosh.
What is the text of the 21st Amendment? Let me read this.
I think it just says, never mind at 18th Amendment.
Yeah, I think that's what it said. So, like, I don't know if you can really argue that.
Yeah, but it
But
doesn't
it
say
doesn't-
never mind at 18th Amendment except in automobiles.
Okay, well, let's read it out. It's not very long. 21st Amendment, Section 1. The 18th article of amendment to the Constitution of the United States is hereby repealed. Section 2. The transportation or importation into any state, territory, or possession of the United States... What? Possession of the United States for delivery? This language is very confusing. I'm going to put this in the chat because I need somebody to deconstruct the grammar of this. The transportation or importation into any state, territory, or possession. Who has possession of the United States?
Oh, I think they're saying any state of the United States, any territory of the United States, or any possession of the United States.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like property of the federal government.
That's
Okay.
property of the federal government. That's the best way to put it.
For delivery or use therein of intoxicating liquors in violation of the laws thereof is hereby prohibited. So there is still some transportation. Wait, what?
Yeah, but as long as you're not bringing it in from another country, you should be allowed to drunk drive.
I'm transporting the alcohol in me.
So Joe, it's saying that
You can't
If
bring
you-
alcohol
you
from
still-
outside America into America.
oh no, it's saying that
Unless if there's a law in place saying that you can.
it's saying in violation of the laws thereof, which means the laws of that state, territory, or possession.
Understood.
That's another states' rights thing, I believe. So saying that like states can still make laws about transportation,
Which they do.
Are you
some-
not-
some
Are
states
you not
can't
pro
buy alcohol and
21st
some
Amendment? Dude,
No, I'm anti 21st Amendment now because the 21st Amendment says that states can ban alcohol if they want to.
no, they can ban the importation of alcohol.
Ah. Well, it doesn't say that they can't ban consumption.
Yeah, but it doesn't say that they can.
It doesn't say they can't ban drunk
But-
driving.
If it doesn't say
It doesn't
that they
say
can't, then it's
it
reserved.
doesn't
You ever
say
heard
that
of
they
the
can
Ninth
ban
Amendment,
drunk
bro?
driving.
But every state says something about drunk driving, and that is not something that has anything to do with interstate commerce.
Yeah,
So
but
the
it
federal
is something
government
to
has
do
no
with the
say.
consumption of alcohol, which was banned by the 18th Amendment and then repealed by the 21st Amendment.
This article shall be inoperative unless it shall have been ratified by the
Okay,
Constitution.
but fuck the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. It was their idea to regulate driving under the influence of alcohol with a commercial driver's license.
Actually, though, the ATF needs to be disbanded.
But if drunk driving's so wrong, why do cars have cup holders?
Shut up! I hate that meme.
It's so good.
It's a good point, though.
It is a good point.
If you want to reduce drunk driving accidents, take cars away from sober drivers. Am I wrong, though?
But Truman, you
Don't
broke
be
the
wrong,
silence.
man.
We were doing the silence.
Wait. I mean, it is a good point, though.
What's a good point, Zarek? Clarify.
Why do cars have cup holders?
I don't know. That's
See,
actually
Zarek-
because if driving with one hand is illegal,
I should be able to use the other hand to drink some alcohol.
Zarek doesn't even
Zarek.
drink, and he's pro 21st Amendment.
Yeah.
It's my freedom as an American.
Well, you can get
Coronavirus is a hoax, and drunk driving should be legal.
Facts.
you can get a DUI on a bicycle.
What?
Yeah, absolutely. You can get a DUI on a bicycle.
Where does the 21st Amendment say that?
True. I don't know. I mean, that's just like going back to Truman's argument.
How are you gonna kill someone with a bicycle?
If you're going fast enough, I guess.
If you
How are you gonna
cause-
get that
no,
fast
no,
if
no.
you're drunk?
If you cause a car, dude, if you cause a car to crash because you're on a bicycle.
Well, they should be.
That car
That's
should
why
have
we
a
gotta
better
take
driver.
sober drivers off the road.
I saw a cop pull over a bird scooter in Austin, Texas, because somebody was drunk driving on Congress. Drunk scootering, I guess.
Drunk scootering is the next level.
Wait,
Who are you gonna kill though?
what if
Bro,
it's one
them
of those-
shits are dangerous.
All you have to do is pay attention.
If
But
you
what
do
if
is
you're
drive.
intoxicated?
Would a DUI count for like one of those motorized scooters that old people use that travel at like 3 miles an hour?
I think so. I would say so.
Wait, I don't see anything about drunk driving on a unicycle.
I just gave my unicycle away because I couldn't figure out how to use it after many years. And then Andy Shy figured out how to do it in 30 minutes.
No, Joe, that hurts. That shit
It
hurts.
really hurts.
Ooh, I found an
Yeah, I
article from 2006. Legalize drunk driving.
I have 2 unicycles. I don't know how to work any of
In
them.
November 2000, Bill Clinton signed a bill passed by Congress that ordered states to adopt a new, more onerous drunk driving standards.
Wait. Zarek just said he has 2 unicycles.
Yeah.
That's just a bicycle.
God, Joe, I'm so excited for this next year.
not
Keep going, Truman.
So Bill Clinton signed a law that said we're going to take away highway funds if you don't make drunk driving illegal. I hate why do the Democrats want people to hate them?
Because they're lizard people.
The feds have declared that a blood alcohol level of 0.08% and above is criminal and must be severely punished.
I heard that they're lowering that. Who
The
said that?
National Restaurant Association is exactly right that this is extremely low. The overwhelming majority of accidents related to drunk driving involve repeat offenders with blood alcohol levels twice that high. If a standard of 0.1 doesn't deter them, the lower one won't either. But there's a more fundamental point. What precisely is being criminalized? Not bad driving, not the destruction of property, not the taking of human life or reckless endangerment. The crime is having the wrong substance in your blood. Yet it is possible, in fact, to have this substance in the blood, even while driving, and not commit anything like what has been traditionally called a crime. What have we done by permitting the government to criminalize the content of our blood instead of our actions?
Oh my gosh. That's a pretty
Dude, I
intense-
agree.
The Democrats are anti-blood.
Just getting them one step closer to mandating vaccines.
There's
Oh
a
my
final
God.
point against Clinton's drunk driving bill. It is a violation of states' rights. Not only is there no warrant in the Constitution for the federal government to legislate blood alcohol content, the 10th Amendment should prevent it from doing so. The question of drunk driving should be first returned to the states, and then each state should liberate drunk drivers from the force of the law.
Oh my God.
I hope
Start
this is
sending
not
these articles
satire.
to Charlie Kirk. Get Charlie Kirk to blast these and then call President Trump and tell him to liberate drunk drivers.
It's under the category of article, the police state.
It's an epic gamer moment.
Oh,
I
this
just
is
matched
this is a
with someone
crazy
from-
wacko right-wing website.
I just matched with someone from Arizona State. You know where that is?
Phoenix.
The Phoenix metropolitan area.
Dude, the most annoying girl I know is going to Arizona State, and she's been posting about the fact that she's going to Arizona State for like 9 months. She's like, I was like, or no, longer. Honestly, it's been since she was like a sophomore in high school. She's been like, Arizona State, baby.
Is that where Colin
Imagine,
goes?
imagine not committing to a high school or to college yet.
Shut up. I'm waiting for them to tell me if it's open or not.
That's a good point.
Joe, that's a good choice. I can't fault you for it.
I have a feeling that they're gonna let us know before June 1st. Also, you never know if they're gonna throw some random money at me. That could happen. That would be
Especially
good.
if they're nervous about nobody committing to their school.
Yeah,
Dude.
they threw random money at me the day before I almost committed, so I think I'm just gonna try and milk that again.
Exactly. No, if it worked once, why not do it again? That's exactly what I did.
Yeah, so many
Just
people
say-
are getting off of wait lists. It's kind of crazy.
It is kind of crazy.
Say,
Wait
give me
a-
money or I'm going to Arizona State.
But also, like, how fun would it be to apply to college all over again?
Oh my gosh. Oh my god. So quirky of you.
Deadass, if I took the SAT again, not hungover, I might do better on it.
Satire.
Joe, how many of the
Satire.
schools that you applied to actually needed SAT?
I think it's the only reason I got into USC for their BA program.
Okay, I guess that makes sense.
Okay,
There are
but I got a
certainly some schools
1570 on
where-
the SAT and USC rejected me.
Yeah, well, that program's even more competitive than the theater program.
Yeah, that's true. Also, one of our teammates on the frisbee team got a letter of recommendation from George Lucas, and they still rejected him.
That's crazy, bruh.
Isn't that insane? Oh. I just
USC's
can't
not pro George Lucas though. They're just capitalizing on him for the clout.
Yeah, they
Like,
They
that's
pro
high key
21st
how the
Amendment.
school runs.
George Lucas has a building named after him there.
Is he really?
Yeah.
That's kind of shitty of USC to do that. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
To reject him for
My
that.
rec letters were from like high school arts teachers, and this
Yeah,
man got a rec letter from fucking George Lucas. Like, damn, that alone, I would just let a kid in.
And got rejected.
That's tough. That's so tough.
Jojo was a man from Tucson, Arizona.
How much money did USC give you to help with their $85,000 a year tuition?
3,500. All right. Well, to be less transparent, the tuition's only 55. What a
Then
steal,
room and board.
right?
Then
No,
room
it's
and
only
board.
like 53. Room and board was 18.
They're practically
Wait,
giving you a degree
I
for
don't
that, right?
remember.
Yeah, that is such a steal. Almost as good as Hallmark University.
Hallmark University.
No.
Wait,
I
do you
think
guys
it's
remember
actually-
back in the day before college started, or before we even applied? I had my heart set on the University of Iowa.
I
Yeah.
do remember that. Oh my
So
god.
as of now, they are still planning an in-person fall semester, and knowing Binghamton, we're probably going online next semester.
Because Cuomo.
Yeah, and just because Binghamton. So
SUNY
what if
Binghamton, right?
I just took a semester in Iowa?
My friend's going to Iowa next semester.
Ooh.
And you would have at least one friend.
No, I have so many of them on Snapchat and Instagram.
Did you join all their group chats when it was time?
Yeah,
Well, he was gonna go up until like 2 weeks before decision day.
because
Oh wow.
I went to Binghamton. My thought was, all right, this school seems pretty nice. If they let me in,
But also, Binghamton is like has a really low acceptance rate, and it's a really prestigious school.
yeah. So I saw the acceptance rate when I looked. It was like 42%, and with me in high school, you know, I wasn't making it. So I was like, yeah, this is a good school and all, but you know, I'm not getting in, and I already got into Iowa. So then, a few weeks passed. I was looking at, you know, Iowa, and I got a text from my dad, and it was a screenshot, and I forget what the screenshot said, but he also followed it up with a normal text, and it was, "You got into Binghamton,"
Oh, that's nutty.
and then that was when my world flipped, not that much, but
Became slightly canted.
it still rotated nonetheless.
Yeah, just
And
one decisions.
you know, now I'm in New York.
Instead of
Well, I'm in
Iowa.
Pennsylvania, but my school is in New York.
Yo.
But it could be in Iowa.
Is Monty Python's Flying Circus any good? I
Yeah.
haven't heard of it before.
It's the TV show they
it's a
did.
TV show. Oh, jeez. Never
Yeah.
mind.
It's
the
really
TV show
good.
is really good though.
Yeah, no, I've seen a lot of the TV show episodes. They're fire.
You just
You
didn't
know
know
what
that
else
it
is
was...
really good?
What?
The campus at the University of Iowa.
Is it as good as the campus at SUNY Binghamton?
It's better.
Much better.
Binghamton is just a big circle with buildings in and around it. Iowa has a river flowing through it.
Pretty good.
And
That's
of the three hills in the state of Iowa, one of them is on campus.
That's pretty sick.
You just need to look at pictures. It's amazing. And one of the residence halls is overlooking the river.
That's nice.
And the dining hall is in that building too. It's just so great.
One of Emerson, or all of Emerson's residence halls overlook the Boston Common.
That is true.
Do they overlook a river?
They overlook the Common. Except for one of them that overlooks Downtown Crossing. Paramount worst dorm building.
I'm so glad that we're not in.
Society
not
has
on
progressed past the need for Paramount.
Depending on where you are in my current dorm building, you either look at other dorm buildings or a forest.
I like to look at a forest.
I'd
we
rather
have a nice
I'd rather
forest.
look at the Boston Common.
Dude, I can't believe there was a year and a half period where it was like, yeah, Emerson's nice, but I'd rather go to BU. I mean, like, they're slightly not in a city. And I had no other reason for preferring BU over Emerson other than, yeah, it's a big campus.
It's not even that big of a campus. It's just really long.
Yeah. I was like, oh. Like,
It's
yeah.
so- the fact that the BU campus takes up 3 T stops is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, also
I
the
would
T is
not want-
ridiculous,
yeah.
and on the New York subway that would be one stop. But
Yeah,
We
but
have-
Boston's little,
we have a lot
bro.
of problems with the T.
How far is it from NEU? I got a homie at NE.
Not, it's like 15 minutes on the T, but the T is just kind of annoying, especially the Green Line.
The Green Line's only annoying up to a point.
Yeah, after you figure out how it works, it's fine.
It just takes a while to figure out how it works.
And also, it takes a while for the train you want to come if you miss it.
Oh my god.
Unless it's during rush hour. Then it's like you get a train every 2 minutes during rush hour.
Yeah, but also the T stops are just like ridiculous. Like they're like a block and a half apart, each of them.
fags.
The very first public transportation system in America was 2 stops on the T on the Green Line. It was Boylston to Park Street, which if anyone's been, it's like half the distance of the Common. And that's what warranted the first public transportation system in America.
Yeah, for those who don't know, that can take you like upwards of maybe a minute to walk. Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, that's like a quarter of the walk to Shake Shack.
And just from our campus, from our dorm room to Shake Shack isn't that 4 T stops? That's
Yeah.
a 4-block walk.
It is an 8-minute
7-minute
walk. 7, yeah, something like that. All right. Anybody else have anything they want to add before we wrap?
It's maybe the longest episode of Moxie Mansion ever.
Yeah. I mean, wasn't the last time our shortest? Last time was only like half an
Yeah.
hour.
Let me take a look.
If anybody sees my Game Advance charger, let me know.
Did your phone just censor you? Like, it just cut out exactly one word. of
Yeah,
what you
we're about a minute longer than our longest episode.
Nice.
said.
Alright, let's cut it here so the bar isn't set too high.
All right, Joe, do you want to drop your socials before we?
No, my name's not Joe. This is a satire.
All right, sick.
That's some good satire.
See you guys. See you guys next time.